pizza, and even cupcakes? Sounds like a 10-year-old's idea of dinner. It's all on the menu at local food truck courts. These days, they're seeing lots of business and adding a unique flavors for Richmond. Insight's Amanda Dix takes a look.
A siege of trucks are taking over the Richmond area. Food trucks, that is. Between 10 to 16 food trucks gather in the Richmond area. Boka taco truck owner Patrick Harris started these food truck courts to create a market for this industry in Richmond.
I think it's going to continue to grow. In Richmond, Virginia, I believe there's some growth potential. At some point, with any market, you find a cap. I don't know where or when that will be, and I don't feel that we're at the front end of it.
The city of Richmond says the number of food trucks has increased significantly over the last 5 years, but they couldn't provide specific numbers. New and returning customers are drawn to these courts because of the variety of food offered. Matt Lorish, a first-time customer to a food truck court, came out to Hardywood Park Brewery with friends and family to enjoy the food.
I think it's been awesome. We had the opportunity to sample a number. I guess we got stuff from 3 different trucks.
These courts give food truck owners a competitive edge over normal established restaurants.
Our modern day food or dining community is evolving to accommodate for lower cost, high-end options, and the food truck courts provide that.
Food truck courts began in April of this year with only 2 courts held a week. Now they gather Monday through Friday at different locations. For VCU Insight, I'm Amanda Dix.
Despite winter approaching and the colder weather coming, food truck courts are scheduled to run through December 2012.
The courts aren't closed yet, though, and Insight's Sue Johnson is in the studio with the man who started them here in Richmond.
Tonight I'm speaking with Patrick Harris, the owner of the Boka taco truck and the guy who started Richmond's food truck courts. Patrick, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Sue.
So tell us a little bit about how you got the idea for the food truck courts.
Well, the food truck courts is based on strength in numbers, and food truck by itself, while an interesting and enigmatic, business model, it doesn't have quite the strength of a variety of enigmatic food truck services all in one centralized location. So the concept of food truck courts has been successful in other areas of the country, and I saw an opportunity here in Richmond to tap into something that could bring Richmond back onto the map in a culinary forward mentality, and I think that Richmond's really embraced it well.
That's great. So can you tell me about how this experience of dining at a food truck court instead of in a restaurant would be different?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of social aspects to dining at a food truck court versus a restaurant. A restaurant, you're sat, you're given an isolated area, and you dine with the service of your server or host. In the food truck court, you're outside. It's a interactive environment. You might go one place for a small sampling or first course, and then to another place for your entree, and then to another truck for your dessert. And having that versatility creates a lot more social interaction, not only with the vendor operator or people who are serving you, but also with the people who are in line. People are telling you about the menus, you're interacting, you're talking, you're asking questions. And the best part about the food truck court that I found when we first started, we lined all the tables up side by side. So when people came out and they got food, they all came back in a communal dining setting. And in the communal dining area, everyone would be noshing down on their grub, and then they'd look over and they'd say, well, what do you got there? And someone would be like, oh, you gotta try this braised short rib taco. It is unbelievable. And they're sitting there going, oh, well, I mean, you really gotta try this Thai noodle dish. It's amazing. I got it from over there. And when you have that dynamic, it inspires people to come back and go to the other places and tell a friend and bring them back. And that's how we got such amazing turnout in numbers at the events this year, too.
So has it ever proved difficult running a taco truck? Is it a lot like running a restaurant? Does the fact that you're on wheels make it any more difficult?
Yes, it makes it a lot more difficult. I've run restaurants, very high volume, fine dining restaurants, and this is more difficult to do out of a taco truck, serving street food with high-end variety. It's not as structured. There's a lot more variables. We have breakdowns with the automotive. We have gas problems, plumbing problems, everything that a restaurant would have, but it's mobile, and we have all the additional motor and automotive issues. Rotors, axles, radiators, I mean, everything breaks. We've gone through 3 engines in one truck in 3 years. That's 1 engine per year. 3 transmissions in 1 truck. I need to get a new mechanic. No, but it's definitely a lot more than the responsibilities of a restaurant, and the variables definitely kick you in the side a little harder.
So tell me, even though it's kind of difficult running the business, this business on wheels, what is the most rewarding experience?
Well, the most rewarding experience is being able to create and put my passion into a format which other people can enjoy. I think any chef's true, derived enjoyment from their job and, passion is through that means. Social media really is highly rewarding to that goal, because it gives us an immediate communication with the guests where they can say, oh, that duck confit was baller, or, we hear a lot of positive feedback. Those tomatoes were marinated with a zing that made me, expletive in my pants or something. It's a lot of really cool, lowbrow, off-the-cuff, responsiveness, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. I was speaking with Patrick Harris, who started Richmond's Food Truck Courts. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
This past March, the university announced a new project that would bring a bike shop to VCU. The shop